The engines on Soldier were abuzz with unease. Edward's harrowing journey had left everyone shaken, and Sir Topham's announcement about the sabotage was the talk of the island. Though Edward had survived, questions lingered. Who was behind the signal tampering? And why?
Why would anybody want to hit the railway? We all work so hard to keep things running.
Cheer up, Percy. I know things seem grim, but Sir Topham Hatt's on the case. He'll sort it out in no time.
I hope you're right, Thomas. It feels strange, doesn't it? Like there's something we're missing.
Edward said it's deliberate. If he's right, whoever's doing this must have a reason, but what kind of engine would do something so awful?
Later that day, Percy was assigned to deliver the mail to a distant part of the island. The fog from the previous night had lifted, though the air was still thick with tension. As Percy prepared to leave, he noticed Edward in the station, his face weary.
Edward, are you feeling alright?
Just tired, Percy. These past few days have been hard on all of us. Be careful out there, won't you?
I will. But don't worry, Edward. We'll get to the bottom of this.
Edward watched as Percy puffed away, a shadow of worry crossing his face. Something about this whole situation felt wrong. As Percy chugged along the familiar tracks, he kept a watchful eye on the signals. Everything seemed normal at first. But just as he approached the junction, he noticed one of the signal lights flickering.
Not again.
His driver slowed him down, cautious of any unexpected changes. The signal turned to green, but Percy hesitated.
It's alright, Percy. Look, it's holding steady. Let's keep moving.
Reluctantly, Percy continued, but the unease in his boiler grew with every mile. As he rounded a bend, a sudden screeching noise pierced the air. Percy's driver slammed on the brakes, bringing him to a halt just in time to avoid a pair of freight trucks abandoned on the tracks.
Where do those come from? This isn't right. Somebody's playing a dangerous game here.
Percy's unease deepened. He couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched. Back at the sheds, the other engines were discussing Percy's close call. Gordon, ever the skeptic, was less than impressed.
Percy's always been a warrior. I'm sure it was just a coincidence.
What if it wasn't Gordon? Edward says someone's sabotaging the railway. Percy might be next.
Oh, please. First it's the signals, now it's stray freight cars. You're all jumping at shadows. It's not shadows, James. Something's wrong, and pretending it isn't won't help.
Percy's report is troubling. We've confirmed that the freight cars were left there intentionally. This is no accident. The engines exchanged worried glances for the first time in the reality of the threat hit home. That night, Percy couldn't sleep. He was at an apford. He kept replaying the events of the day in his head, trying to make sense of them. Percy was lost in thought, his eyes looking off into the distance as smoke billowed from his funnel candle. Finally, Edward approached him after realising he wasn't in the sheds.
Edward, do you think it's possible that one of us could be behind this?
I've been wondering the same thing, Percy. The sabotage is too precise, too deliberate. Whoever is doing this knows the railway well.
But why would an engine do something so terrible?
I don't know, but until we find out, we all need to be careful.
Next day, Percy was assigned to remove trucks from an old yard in an area far away from the main line. As he worked, he noticed an unfamiliar engine watching him from the distance. The engine's paint was dull, and its expression was unreadable.
Hello there? Are you new?
The engine didn't respond. It simply turned and disappeared into the docks. Percy felt a chill run through his boiler.
Who was that?
Later, Percy shared his encounter with the others.
I saw a strange engine in the yard today. It didn't say anything, just stared at me and left.
A strange engine? That's odd. Did you catch its name?
No, it didn't even speak.
Probably just another new arrival. Nothing to get worked up about.
Or it could be something more. We need to keep an eye out for anything unusual.
As the days passed, the incidents continued. More signal failures, and freight trucks were found in dangerous positions. The engines grew more anxious, and suspicions began to creep into their conversations. One evening, Percy overheard James talking to Henry.
What if it's Edward? He's been acting strange ever since they started.
I don't know, James. Edward's always been reliable.
Exactly. Maybe he's trying to throw us off.
Percy couldn't believe what he was hearing. He decided to confront James.
How can you say that about Edward? He's the one who warned us in the first place.
I'm just saying, Percy. We have to consider every possibility.
Well, I know Edward would never do something like this, and I wouldn't stand by while you accuse him without proof.
James huffed but said no more. Percy's loyalty to Edward was unwavering, but the seed of doubt had been planted. That night, Percy couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched. As he puffed into Knapford Station, he noticed movement in the shadows. A faint glint of metal caught his eye, and he realised someone was lurking nearby.
Who's there?
There was no response. The figure disappeared into darkness, leaving Percy to wonder if he'd imagined it. The next morning, Percy shared his experience with the Fat Controller.
Sir, I think someone was watching me last night. I didn't see who it was, but they were definitely there.
Thank you for telling me, Percy. I'll have the area searched immediately. Despite Sir Topham Hatt's insurance, Percy couldn't shake the feeling that danger was closer than anyone realised. As the day progressed, Percy's thoughts returned to the strange engine he'd seen in the yard. Determined to find answers, he decided to investigate. He puffed back to the spot where he'd seen the engine and began to search for clues. After some time, he noticed faint tracks leading to an overgrown siding. Following them, he discovers an abandoned docks hidden among the foliage. Inside, he found the strange engine, its face twisted in an expression of anger.
It's you! You're the one behind all this, aren't you?
You're smarter than I thought, little Percy. Yes, it was me, but I have my reasons.
Percy couldn't believe what he was hearing. The strange engine's mission sent chills down his boiler.
Why are you doing this? How could you possibly justify putting lives in danger?
You wouldn't understand. Engines like you, always the favorites, always praised, while others of us are cast aside, forgotten, left to rust in the shadows.
If you were abandoned, that's not our fault. Sabotage of the railway won't fix anything. It'll only make things worse for everyone.
Fix things? I don't care about fixing things. I want them to suffer the way I've suffered, and if you get in my way, you'll regret it.
You just don't have to do this. Let me help you.
Help me? It's too late for that.
Back at the yards, Percy wrestled with what he'd learned. He couldn't bring himself to tell the others about the strange engine's confession. What if they didn't believe him? Worse, what if they thought he dismissed it as a figment of his imagination? Instead, Percy decided to focus on watching out for any other signs of trouble. He stayed vigilant, determined to gather proof before confronting the others again. But as the days passed, the incidents continued, each one more dangerous than the last. One evening, Thomas, Edward and Gordon were gathered at the station again, discussing the latest sabotage.
Whoever's doing this knows exactly how to cause chaos. It's like they're always one step ahead of us.
If I were in charge, I'd have caught the culprit by now. It's probably just some careless signalman.
We shouldn't jump to conclusions. This feels personal.
Later that night, Percy ventured out alone, determined to confront the rogue engine again. He found the abandoned station shrouded in darkness. The strange engine was there, its expression twisted in bitterness.
Back so soon, Percy. Don't tell me you've come to stop me.
Please, you don't have to do this. We'll find a way to help you.
The strange engine laughed harshly.
Help me? Where were you when I was left to rot? Your help means nothing now.
Revenge won't change the past. It'll only hurt more engines. Let more people. Let me try to make things right.
No, this railway will pay for what it did to me.
The following morning, a major incident shook the railway. A sabotage signal caused two goods trains to collide, blocking a crucial line. As the engines worked tirelessly to clear the wreckage, Percy couldn't shake the feeling that the strange engine was watching, waiting for its next move. Finally, Percy gathered his courage and approached Sir Topham Hatt and the others.
I think I know who's behind this. There's an abandoned engine hiding near the old sidings. It's angry and feels betrayed by the railway.
The engines exchanged skeptical glances. Gordon was the first to speak.
An abandoned engine? Percy, this sounds like quite the tall tale.
But what if he's right? We've seen stranger things before.
If there's even a chance Percy's telling the truth, we need to investigate. Percy, lead the way. When Percy led the group back to the abandoned shed, it was empty. The strange engine had vanished, leaving behind only a faint trail of oil and the lingering scent of rust. The other andrews looked at Percy with doubt and frustration.
Well, Percy, where's this so-called abandoned engine?
What if it moved on? It's not like engines just disappear.
Or maybe it's smart enough to cover its tracks. We shouldn't dismiss Percy's concerns just because we don't see immediate proof.
Topham Hatt's expression softened slightly, but his tone remained firm. Percy, I appreciate your efforts, but without evidence we can't act on speculation. Let's focus on repairing the railway and making sure everyone's safe. Percy's boiler felt heavy as he watched the others leave. He knew the strange engine was still out there, plotting his next move. But for now, he was alone in his knowledge, unsure of how to protect his friends without their trust. Back at the sheds, the engines were restless. Tensions ran high as they speculated about the sabotage and Percy's mysterious story. Percy sat alone, deep in thought, determined to find a way to uncover the truth and stop the strange engine before it was too late. As the moon rose over Sodor, the railway seemed eerily quiet, but Percy knew that somewhere in the shadows, the strange engine was waiting, its plans far from finished.
Okay, I think that's it.